was thinking about having my game story take place in Michigan, probably preferably like the Upper Peninsula, because I want my game to have sort of an outdoorsy vibe, but I also want to like combine it with like some like retro themes. But right now I'm focusing on like the outdoorsy aesthetic of my game's world. So I've actually been reading this book called Michigan's Michigan Riding and Hiking Trails by Rhonda Ritter, which is like documents this history of this famous horse trail that they I think they still that I think is still in use today. It actually got me thinking about my about the gameplay, like if I want it to be like more like an open world with these trails, kind of like what Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild have, or if I just want to make it like a sort of like a level based thing, kind of like what Mega Man has when you can like choose which level you want to do or which boss you want to fight, and that determines it determines which boss you're gonna fight for the game. Another thing I've been contemplating for my game's intro is when I start the game with the scene with the protagonist looking at the beach, do I want the entire area to be like this flat land of grass by the sand, or do I want it to be like sort of on this like raised hill that's like not too far from the sand? For example, here's this picture I took from Picture Rocks, which is uh, not too far away from Mackinac, where I'm taking it from an angle where I'm at like not necessarily this hilltop, but I'm in this raised patch of land, and then just a few feet below it is the beach extending out to the waters. Also, for the start of my game, I was thinking of adding this little wooden house. I got the idea when I was looking up images of Heritage Village, which is like a tourist site near Mackinac City to show people like what Michigan was like in the early days. And there's this reoccurring image of this like wooden house that I keep seeing popping up on the internet. And I've kind of got the idea of like adding something similar to that to the grassy area that I have at the start of my game. So thinking maybe that's where the player can find his first weapon. And then I also, after doing a little more research on Heritage Village, I also found this other interesting building thing. I forgot the name, but it's like a quarantine building for like that was like for like people with smallpox and illnesses like that back then when hospitals weren't around. And I thought making a little house like that, that could be like similar, where a player finds like his first health item and food and supplies and stuff. And I thought that would be a pretty cool idea. Surprisingly enough, when I tried going to GDevelop's asset store, I found like a bunch of like free 3D houses, but I couldn't find any of them that were white, which is kind of weird. But I figured I could probably like maybe model it or change the color, and if I can't, then I guess I'll just try and figure out how to model house in Blender. I've also been reading on Writers and Writing by C.S. Lewis, which is a compilation of writing advice taken from letters and essays that he wrote in the past. There's a section in the book called Good and Bad Types of Science Fiction Stories. And I think one of the strongest points is that you shouldn't take like a typical story, like a love story or a crime story, and then just put it in a science fiction world when it could work just as well in like a non-fictional world. Just really something. And I think that can be applied to game development too. Like there are like some games out there where the way the world works. It affects the mechanics, and that affects the gameplay, which kind of integrates with the storytelling of the game. So I figured we play some first-person shooter games like Goldeneye to get some inspiration, weapon design, character design, enemy design, and environmental details, that kind of stuff. Kind of like just like make a motivation and get some fly as I'm playing this. my gun? Sorry if my game seems to be lagging. I don't know what it is with the computer, but I'm getting like some decent movement out of it. I can like still. Music is a little glitchy. It's shaken, but not stirred. Is that just armor in there? Good, that's some armor. Now I got a real gun. Okay, in this truck. pause menu, you got it unlocked. That's pretty cool and clever. I may just put like some background music into this to cover the glitchy music. I don't know, maybe. Because I don't know if you guys would hear it from your end, but from my end, I don't know if it's just the speakers or not, but on my laptop the music is like kind of like glitching out. The thing is, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Wait, there's that. There's that red thing there. gonna have to end it here for now, guys. But thanks for watching.